She became so afraid. The voice said, "Look." When she looked, everything she had done, her behavior, her arrogance, her pride was played before her very eyes like a movie. Once upon a time, there lived a very beautiful woman named Uli. Uli was so beautiful that no one could ever match her beauty in the entire village. She drew the attention of so many men. Her heart, however, harbored the seed of pride, and she looked down on her fellow women with disdain, deeming them unworthy of her comparison. Because of her rare beauty, she became so arrogant and pompous. She felt no one could be compared to her beauty. Uli's rare beauty drew countless suitors to her, but she dismissed them all, claiming none were worthy of her radiance. The villagers constantly gossiped about her and how she prides herself as the most beautiful woman in the entire village, and this caused a growing distance between Uli and the women she considered to be beneath her. She continued to carry herself with so much pride, while men flocked around her, bringing all manner of gifts to her on a daily basis. She takes their gifts but never accepted to marry any of them. Some of the men she turned into slaves. Some washed her clothes and others her dishes, while others became her money bag, where she kept demanding and demanding. And they kept giving her because they couldn't resist her beauty. She had no friends because of her pride. She insulted whoever she liked, calling every other woman ugly. The women hated her because their husbands she had turned to cleaners and would fight for who would take turns to see her. This made them hate her even the more. One beautiful day, Adu came to visit her in her hut. Adu was also a very beautiful woman who was so respectful and humble. In fact, she was the opposite of Uli in character, and she was also a true beauty. Despite Uli's ill-mannered behavior, Adu was the only person who could tolerate her excesses. She was the only friend Uli had. She accepted Uli and loved her the same. She said everyone deserves a chance. No one is completely bad. There's goodness in everyone. So she became her only friend, even though the whole village hated her. Adu has a fiancé whose name was Dodo. Dodo and Adu were so good together, and he already promised to marry her. One day, Adu told Dodo that she wanted to go see her friend Uli. Dodo had not seen Uli, but he had heard about a beautiful maiden in the village who has captured the heart of every man. So he wanted to see this beauty. But Adu tried to discourage him from going with her, but he insisted that he wanted to go and see her. At least he wants to see this person he has been hearing about. So he went with her. When they got to Uli's house, Dodo was engrossed with Uli's beauty and was speechless. He kept looking at her every now and then. Uli, on the other hand, was also slain by his body and how cute he looked. This is the first time she feels any man is worthy of her beauty. Where has he been all this while? She chorused in her head. Adu wasn't comfortable any longer. She knew something was going on in their head, so she told Dodo that they had to leave. But he said, we just got here. Stay for a while. But she insisted, so they left. Uli thought about Dodo all night. Likewise, Dodo Uli. He started behaving strange to his fiancée Adu. He would ignore her and started avoiding her. After a while, he told her he wasn't interested in the marriage any longer. Adu cried and begged him, but he already made up his mind. After he left Adu, he went to Uli. Uli accepted him wholeheartedly, forgetting that he was her friend's fiancé. As long as she felt he was worthy of her, she was okay. She didn't care if her friend, who stood by her when everyone hated her, was hurt or not. Adu has been insulted and humiliated for being friends with Uli, but Uli betrayed her. Heartbroken, Adu refused to eat for days as she was surprised that her fiancé left her for a friend. She said if it was someone else, it would have been a bit okay, but not my best friend. She kept crying for days. When Adu's mom returned from travel, she noticed Adu has been crying and has refused to eat. So she asked her what the problem was. Then Adu told her mom everything that has happened. Then the mom was so angry and decided she would deal with Uli. She said, I warned you severally about that girl, but you refused. You said there's good in everybody and everybody deserves a chance. She paid you with evil for your kind heart towards her. Adu cried the more, but Adu's mom, who was a very diabolic woman, swore never to let Uli go free. She promised that the very thing Uli prides herself with will be taken from her. But Adu begged her mom not to hurt her, instead teach her a lesson. She said it's not completely Uli's fault, but Dodo wasn't actually who I thought he was. He was just a cheap fool who has no self-control. I deserve a better man than Dodo. I am happy this has shown me his true colors. At least I know who I have been dealing with now. So the mom agreed to teach Uli a lesson until she became humble and respectful. So Adu's mom did a charm that could turn Uli into a very ugly beast as soon as the morning sun rises, and even more beautiful at night. Dodo had spent the night in Uli's hut when he woke up to a very frightening beast. He was so scared and screamed, but no one came because Uli had insulted everyone around her. And since the noise was coming from her house, they didn't bother. When Uli saw herself in the mirror, she screamed and Dodo ran out of her house. She begged him not to leave her, but he said, I can't marry a beast. She cried so hard, desperate and shattered. Uli sought solace in the arms of her once disdained neighbors, but there was none to help. As nightfall descended, Uli's beauty shone like a beacon, capturing the hearts of those who witnessed her ethereal glow. She was happy that it had finally left her, and she planned on shaming everyone who neglected her. But to her greatest surprise, however, with the rising sun, her enchanting beauty dissolved, turning her into a beast again. Then she realized this was no joke. Days turned to weeks and weeks to a month. She's become a joke to everyone. Out of shame, she ran out of the village and went into the forest. For days she kept walking and crying, but there was none to help her. On her 7th day in the forest, she became so weak and tired and was very thirsty. She saw something glowing from a distance, so she managed to walk down to it. It was a small stream with water, clear as crystal. She was so happy. All she wanted was just to drink so she can regain her strength at least. As she knelt down to fetch a little water with her hands to drink, she heard a sound from the water calling out her name. Uli, Uli, Uli. She became so afraid. The voice said, look. When she looked, everything she had done, her behavior, her arrogance, her pride was played before her very eyes like a movie from the water. Then she realized how childish, foolish and stupid she had been. She realized she betrayed her only friend. She saw how Adu neglected everyone's advice, including her mom's, just to be friends with her. She wept bitterly and asked if she can be given a second chance, that she will make everything right. And she heard a voice saying, dip yourself into the water. So she dipped and she was made whole. And she was told to go back and make it right with everyone she had insulted. So she took her journey back to her village. When she got to her village, she went straight to Adu's house and begged her. But Adu's mom refused and told her to leave her house. But Adu begged on her behalf and told her that everyone deserves a second chance. She has realized her mistake and now she is sorry. She will never be that person she used to be anymore. Let's give her a chance. So Adu forgave her, and the mom likewise also forgave her and told her what she had done. But at least because of it, you've learnt your lessons. So they all forgave her. So Adu joined Uli and they went to everyone Uli had issues with. One after the other, they went around the entire village begging for forgiveness, including the men. So she became very humble and respectful. Dodo came back to Adu and begged her for forgiveness, but she told him that he wasn't a good man, but a very cheap man, an unreliable man who couldn't take responsibility. So he went back to Uli. She said, I made a mistake the first time, but it won't repeat itself again. Besides, you're not reliable. When I needed you the most, you left me. So why should I do anything with you now? So he left. He was never stable with any woman in the village, as he runs away with every little challenge he faced in the relationships. He was single till his old age, moving from one woman to the other. Adu got married to a young hunter from the village and they had 4 lovely kids. Uli later got married to Adu's husband's friend and they became even closer. They were all happy. Uli lived a better life and became so humble and respectful and was loved by everyone in the village. They all lived happily ever after. The tale of Uli teaches us that true beauty goes beyond the surface, that humility is the key to unlocking the most enchanting aspects of our character. In a world often blinded by appearances, it reminds us that a beautiful heart can transform the darkest causes into the brightest blessings.